Hello folks, hope you're all doing well. Well, it's getting towards that time of year where I need to get some seeds sown. It's been a crazy couple of weeks where I've got nothing done. And it's like, I see other people getting all these seeds started, and I'm starting to get a bit of seed anxiety about needing to get stuff done. So we're gonna come down here. If I spin round as if by magic, hope we don't get too dizzy. We're going to head into the shed there where we're sorted out the new potting area, and I'm going to get some seeds on there. We've got some new stuff to try out as well, some new gadgets, some new gizmos. I always like to test these things out and show you guys if it's any good, and hopefully it'll save you from buying them if they're a load of rubbish, or if they're any good, you might want to go off and buy some. Right, I'll get set up in there with this new tripod-y sort of thing that I've got on, so I can try and get a decent angle in the shed, and we'll show you what we're up to today. Right, so one thing I've got to show you inside this box is we've got something new. If I can get them out, they're a bit stuck together. We've got some of these brand new Charles Dowding seed cells here. So I think the big selling point of these is, one, it's pretty decent rigid plastic, so it should last for years and years and years. And the other, if you can see, if I hold it up to the camera there, you can see it's got quite a big hole in the bottom there. So I think the advantage of that is that when it comes time to get your seedlings out of these trays, is you can get your little finger, push it in there and just push the seedlings out the top, and hopefully they'll come out in one nice piece with the soil on the bottom, and then you can plant them straight out. So we'll give them a bash. I'm gonna sow a few different things today. We'll see they're a little bit smaller than some of the cell trays I usually use. So I'm going to try and multi-sow some beetroot and things like that. Normally I would sow, like the beetroot for example, normally I'd sow, I don't know, maybe it's 5 or 6 per cell. But these are really quite small, so I might just stick to about 3 or 4 and hope for the best. If, you know, I'm saying I'll do that. My fat fingers will probably put about 10 in each cell, no my luck. But we'll give them a bash. We'll see how they work out. We'll see how they grow. So first things first, we'll pop the other ones down there. We've got some of this compost here, all mixed up. There's a bit of perlite in there. So we'll just get those cells nicely filled up. Nice and easy. In there, in there. And last but not least, I'm just going to push it down just a little bit. I'm not going to make it hugely firm, but just firm enough so there's a bit of an indent in it to get the seeds in, and then another scattering of compost over the top, and job done. Now if I can find where I've put my seeds, I'll get some seeds sown. Here we go. So we've got a few different things on the go today, and here's the beetroot. I mean, we're still only heading towards the middle of March, so the only beetroot really you want to be sowing is the bolt hardy one. We got this one free with Kitchen Garden magazine, as you can see there. I grew them last year and they were absolutely brilliant, so we will give them another bash this year. I've just ordered, oh there it is, I ordered one of these little things for sowing seeds. So I tell you what, we'll give this a bash as well, and we'll see if that saves my fat fingers. So this is supposed to help you only sow the amount of seeds that you want. So if I can open this packet properly, let's fire these beetroot seeds in here, and we'll see if this does the job. I mean, it's not so bad with something like beetroot, but once I've tipped these out, crikey, they're taking their time. I bet this is riveting viewing for you. See if we can get them all out of there. You can see the beetroot seeds are actually pretty big themselves, so they're not too bad for handling. But I am just going to try and get quite a few more. There we go. Right, that's them all out. I don't think I've actually got enough there. So what I'll do is probably, I've got another box in the house, another pack of them in the house, so I'll probably put them in as well. So let's give this a shot. So I've got it on what dial, so there's numbers on the top of this that I assume is meant to restrict the number of seeds that come out. And if I hold it in the light, that's on number 4. So I'm just going to turn it around to number 3, and we'll see. Oh, look at that. 3 seeds. That's pretty good. Right, so I'm going to do that for each. Oh, you've got to tip it back up and then tip it forward again. There's only 2 come out that time. Jury's out on that thing, but then again, that's what happens when you pay £2 for something off eBay. There it is. Right, and now it's not working at all. So what I'm going to do is, I've seen Steve on Green Side Up doing this. I'll pop a link to his channel up there. He didn't have the lid on it, and he was just tapping the seeds out like that. And I think, yeah, that's working a lot better. Just popping the seeds out. You see, some cells are getting 3, some are getting 2, some are getting 4. And I guess you say these new Charles Dowding cells, crikey, that one's got about 8. I need to work on my technique with this. They're quite small cells, so I'm a bit worried that the ones that are getting extras might struggle a bit for space and resources. But I tell you what, we've got nothing to lose. I say these are just some seeds that were left over from last year, so we'll pop them in and we'll give them a bash. Couple left over there. Fill that one up that's only got 2 in it. There we go. Right, so that's the beetroot in. Bit of compost back on the top. Spread it over just to fill those cells up. Drop some on the floor for good luck, as always. Right, and again, I'm not pushing that down so it's really compressed. But what I am doing is just firming it up a little bit, because I want to make sure all those seeds are in contact with the compost, just to try and aid germination. Because sometimes you can end up with little pockets of air and that within the compost if you don't push it down properly. So put that in. And as always, later on, again, I'll not bore you with it now. I'll give them a good watering on the top just to get them bedded in. And when I was tidying the shed the other day, I found some of these old plant label things that I've got, and I am terrible for remembering to label my plants. And it's got this weird, I think I've even used these, it's got this massive pen with it. So we'll give that a bash and see if this works. The pen's probably going to run out, no my luck. Let's have a look. Oh, it's not too bad. And the date, we'll put the date on as well. And on the other side, I'm just going to put that these are the bolt hardy ones. And how many rows have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Times 5 rows, so I know what's in them. Pop them in. Job done with the beetroot. Let's see what's next on the list to do. I think these ones are going to be multi-sown. Kale, right. Now I saw this, another plug for another channel on Paul and Richard's channel, which is brilliant, by the way. It's a great laugh, that channel. Have a look if you can find it. This is a type of kale called Black Tuscan. And another plug, third one in a row, is for I think this is the first time I've got seeds from these guys, Premier Seeds Direct. For 99p, I've got 1,000 kale seeds. So that's pretty good value for money. We'll see how well they germinate. But let's see what sort of size seeds they are. Oh, they're tiny. Right. Let's try and use this little gadget machine again. Well, there's a good start. I've tipped off them over the bench, so let's give this a shot. Oh, they're firing out of there. Right. Pop them in. There you go. Once you get the hang of this, it's not too bad. Just giving it a little tap on the side, and there's sort of little ridges down there that trap the seeds. So as long as you're not too heavy-handed with it, it's actually pretty decent. But saying that, I don't think I'm going to be short of kale plants this year. I'm going to be if most of these germinate, I think I'm going to be giving a few away to other people. which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to grow some things on and share them out with other folk, especially when it's a different variety. That's why I went for the Black Tuscan one. It's a little bit different to the norm, so we'll see if we can make them grow. Pop them in. Last couple of seeds just hiding there. I don't want to lose any. Certainly don't want to get them mixed up with anything else. And again, same as we did with the other side. Bit of compost on the top. There's a lump. Get a shot of that. Right, and I'm just going to lightly push it down, getting that contact with the compost. Oh, a little bit light over there. We'll just fill it up a bit more. Job done. And I must remember again to write the label. So this was the Premier Seeds Direct Black Tuscan Kale. And that was Black Tuscan. Pop that in there. And I made a right mess of labelling my chili plants. So luckily the four different varieties now that we've sown, they're all different types and different colours. So at least the ones that are white will come up white and the chocolate ones will come up brown. I've got the orange ones and the red ones. So once the plants start to fruit, we'll know what variety they are. But for now, we've got a tray full of mystery chilies. So we'll see what they are when they grow. So that's them sown. Like you say, that tray there, the Charles Dowding one, quite neat and tidy. So we'll pop that to one side. Oh, just bear with me there. And what's next on the list to sow? Spring onions. Now I've got two different types here. White Lisbon, again, free from Kitchen Garden magazine. And another one called Ishikura. So we'll give these two a bash. I'm going to multi-sow these ones in one of these trays over here. Alright. There we go. I've obviously sown some of these before because I've got a little bit of sellotape on the packet, which is why it's proven a bit difficult to get in. There we go. Right. So very similar-ish to the cells there. So we're going to try and use this quite a few of the spring onions there. So I'm just going to sort of sprinkle them over. You know, they grow quite small, and I want them to be sort of bunched as well. So I'm just doing half of this tray with the White Lisbon ones there, and I'm going to do the other half there we go. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting them in my hand. I'm supposed to be trying out this new gadget. Right. Again, a decent sprinkling there. And we'll put them over this side. There we go. And again, some of them will grow singularly, some of them will grow in bunches. Same as before, bit of compost on the top. Fade it in. And the good thing about compressing this one just a little bit, say I don't want to be too tight, is we've got another tray here the same size, so I'm just going to use the bottom of that to push it down. Job's a good one. Right, next one, we'll move them to one side and run out of space. We'll pop them over there. Quick as a flash, I'm back. There you go. Right, what's next? That's the beetroot. Well, we're going to do some leeks, I think, as well. What have we got here? Two different types, Autumn Giant and F1 Below Zero. Again, let's unopen the packets, eh? It's like Christmas. So we're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing with the leeks as we did, or just did, I should say. It's clear that I managed to get compost in there with the spring onions. And you need to be careful with these. I've just remembered I've not labelled those spring onions there. I said it was terrible at labelling stuff and I forgot to do it. In the leek seeds, see there, like most of the things from that same family, the leeks, the spring onions, normal onions, all that, all of the seeds are really similar. So I'll remember I need to label these leeks. And I think there's not many seeds in that packet, mind. I think that's about all of them. Yeah, that's all of those ones. Fire them in. Right. Oh, man, I'm making a right mess here with these empty packets. There I am. Right, get these ones out. Again, I've used some of these ones last year because of the old sellotape on the packet. This makes it more difficult to get in. There we go. There we go. There these in. Ah, there's only half a pack there. Well, there is. Still, we'll give them a shot on this side. Sprinkle them out. There we go. Again, bit of compost on the top. And I'll go and grab that other tub back. Here's one I prepared earlier. And we'll just give that a bit of a dampen down. And whilst I've got the spring onions back, I'll write a label for them. Or else they'll grow and I'll not have a clue what they are. Right, let's fire these on nice and quickly. Job done. Where's this one? Leeks. What variety is that? And the date on which they were sown. Pop them in. There we go, easy as that. Let's fire them over there. Right, let's see what we've got left to do for today. Oh, right. Let's fire some Brussels sprouts in. We've got some early F1 Brussels sprouts. So we'll fire them in now and get them going. Hopefully they'll be ready autumny sort of time, maybe it's around about October sort of time. So we'll give these a bit of a bash. You know, not everything goes according to plan. We had a bit of a disaster with the sprouts this year. What a mess they ended up being. They weren't really in the ground properly. They got blown about by the wind, so a lot of the sprouts got blown, so that's where the leaves become all loose on the outside. What a mess it was. Right, let's test out Mr. Dowding's technology again with his cell trays. Right, let's get all this. I'm doing that the slow way. Let's use 2 hands. A lot quicker. Right. There's a bit of something there. I don't know what that is in the compost. Let's get rid of that. There it is. Actually, speaking of compost, I've seen a few different stories recently on Facebook groups about people who have bought compost and it's maybe not been the best compost, and then there's been lots of little black flies appeared about out of the compost. Usually compost from the good manufacturers, shall we say, gets heat treated, and that kills off pretty much any of these little nasties or anything bad that's inside the compost before you get it. And I'm just wondering if perhaps some of the stuff hasn't been heat treated, which is why some little nasties have been in it. So I try as much as I can to use the peat-free compost, but with the way things are at the moment, with garden centres and whatnot being closed up here in Scotland still, I've just got to use what I can do. So I've got some of this Jack's Magic, which is a great compost. I just don't like the amount of peat that's in it. But we'll see. It does a good job of getting the seeds going. So we'll pop some of these in. I'm not very efficient with this thing, so I'm probably going to end up, if they all germinate, I'll probably end up with like 50 Brussels sprouts plants, which is, it's okay. Again, I can give them away to people, but you know, I don't want to be wasting seeds. So I think I need a bit of practice with that doodad, or just don't use it. You know, that's the alternative there. And let's get another label written out. Oh, I'm on a roll with the labels now. Although I'm running out of space to write things down. Again, they were from Premier Seeds Direct. So I guess even if I use them all, even if it's a waste of seeds, I mean, it's only 99p a packet. So it's not too bad. And the delivery was pretty good as well. I mean, I only ordered those, was it Wednesday or Thursday last week, and they came on Monday. So that's pretty good going. Although I say they came on Monday, today's Monday, so they came this morning. And what I'm also trying is Kika Melons. So I grew a couple of these last year, and I ended up giving up on them because I tried to grow them in one of those little plastic greenhouse things that I had, one of those little blow-away greenhouses. And as it turns out, although Kika melons themselves aren't particularly big, as it turns out, the plants or the vine sort of things that Kika melons grow on actually get really big. So it kind of started taking over everything. So I ended up getting shot of it. And I mean, they grow really, really long, but because we've got plans, hopefully either end of this month again or the start of next month, I'll try not to put the Kika melon seeds in the kale box, in the kale packet, to get a polytunnel. I thought, well, you know, we could stick some Kika melon seeds in there, and we'll give them a bash again, and we'll see how they grow. Well, why not? Nothing to lose. Well, not another packet there from Premier Seeds Direct. Another plug for them. Sadly, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies or any of these people. Chance to be a bloomin' fine thing. Right. And a label. Mustn't forget the label. Every time. Mustn't forget the label. No, I mustn't. Right. Kika melon. See if I can fit this on the label. Right. Oh, I need to put on that I've done 2 rows of that, or I'll forget that it's got 2 rows of them. Same for these ones. I'll do the ×2, so I know that I've got 2 rows. Right. Done. Only a few more rows left to go. What have we got? We've not got much else left to do. I thought I'd brought some flower seeds with this. Have I got any? That's not the ones I was going to plant. I had loads of stuff from Premier Seeds Direct. I think I've left them at the house. That's probably enough anyway for you for today. Tomorrow, I've got a rare thing of a day off. So, I'm going to head up to the plot pretty much all day, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've got loads of jobs to do, like millions of stuff that needs doing up there. I'm going to make the bean frames. I think that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to do. And if I remember to take the wood with us from the house up to the allotment, I'm going to try and build a new strawberry bed and get that put in, and then get the flower bed sorted next to that. And if I've got time after that, I'm going to start prepping the far end of the plot for the polytunnel. Try and get that, because it needs all level. It's all lumpy bumpy all over the place. So the bit where the frame's going to go, I need to get that sorted. And just thinking about it there as well. See, there's loads of jobs to do. I've got some garlic to go out as well, so I'll have to mind and take the garlic up with us and get that planted out. Right, list of jobs sorted for tomorrow. That's me done for today. As always with these things, I'm not saying this is the best way to sow these seeds. This is just the way I do it. If you want to follow along, great, go for broke. If you think it's a load of rubbish, well then, so be it. If you like what we're up to, you want to keep an eye on what we're doing, please subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with what's going on. If you hit the little bell thing, I think it tells you every time we put a new video out. If you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up if you like what you've seen here today. I say we'll keep you up to date with how these Charles Dowding cell trays work out, whether they're any good or whether we've just wasted a load of money on something that's a bit more expensive than a normal cell tray. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I'll hopefully get something else tomorrow from the plot and keep you up to date with what we're doing up there as well. Bye for now.